Hi, I'm Glenn, Cedar Valley Fishing Field Team, COAF Field Team on YouTube. And well, this round, we're talking jug lining. Well, the other day we got this really nice catfish on a jug line where we made some modifications and decided to go ahead and make a round for our buddy who lives up in Oklahoma. And this round, let's go ahead and show you what the final product looks like. Less the end cap in this case. Well, in this case, here is the jug line. All right, it's yellow. Only thing in Texas is it has to be anything but orange. If it's orange, then you have to have a commercial fishing license. And in this case, we used both a bank sinker as well as these duck decoy sinkers, a trot line clip to hold it in place, and then we got a dropper, and we'll go into more detail on how we made it here shortly. So that said, do check out the video and see if these jug lines will work for you. Okay, today we're going to show you how we make those jug lines that we've been using recently. And the material that we're using is going to be some noodles, foam noodles, in a yellow this time, so it's high visibility. We got 3/4 inch PVC, and they're going to be in 1 foot sections. We got some braided line, masonry line, that'll be the main line to the jug line itself. Some end caps for the PVC, and then over here some screws as well as some trot line clips that we'll use to hold the line itself. And then we've got a mix of weights, so we got some duck decoy weights as well as bank weights that we'll be using. And then we got some PVC. Got some, always gonna have some of these just in case, these zip ties. And then for the line itself, for the actual dropper itself, is going to be a swivel hook, or correction, a barrel swivel, along with some circle hooks. So we've got those circle hooks as well as these circle hooks. We find that the circle hooks tend to be the go-to hook when it comes to these jug lines. All right, so let's go and put this together, and we'll show you the final product as we finish this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the PVC. We're going to cut it to 12 inches, and then we're going to apply the end caps to it. So we've got 8 end caps, and then we've got the 12-inch marked here, and we're just going to use this fancy tool to cut the PVC. Okay, so all we're doing is we kind of marked on the floor 12 inches, and so we just have to keep coming back to the same spot, and we'll have these cut here shortly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this PVC glue is pretty old, but it's enough to at least get it started. So we'll just put a little dab, will do you here. Okay, next thing is the foam. We're going to do 8 inches. So it's 10 inches, or correction, 12 inches for the PVC, and then 8 inches for the foam. That gives you about a 4-inch leeway. And we'll just mark off. Alright, and fancy little Japanese style reverse cut on the backstroke seems to work really well with cutting this. So we tend to use this for many things, not just the foam. Alright, well, we got a little do-over. We're noticing that 8 inches is a little bit too much. I'm gonna cut these down to a smaller size. We actually need 7, not 8 inches. So we're gonna cut off an inch here. So when you do it at the beginning, instead of 8 inches, cut 7 inches on the foam. So we're gonna do a little oops do-over portion here real quick. There we go. Okay, next up is we need to put the foam onto the PVC. And all it is like so. And since we still have a little bit of that PVC deal up here, it's always a nice tight fit there. We're going to put the trot line clip onto the PVC on the lower section of the jug line. Yeah. And all we're going to do is mark it right here so we have some room to grab it here. And all this is just a line holder, so you can adjust the depth of the line so you don't have a bunch of excess, and we find that these trot line clips work really well. There's other ways to do it by just tying it off or doing the loop or whatever, but we like it easy, and this works out really nice. And all we're doing now is just marking off a spot for them. God,
You and your crooked drill.
It works. A screw, a little washer, and this baby to go on here. And then it'll go into this hole and we'll be good to go. Okay, and that's all it is. So when you get ready to put the line on, you just clip it here and you've got the depth that you want. And that's it. Okay, next up, while we're getting the rest of the clips going, we're going to do the droppers. In this case, we'll start out with 2 foot of this nylon dropper line, and then we'll double it over and make it 1 foot. And then we'll start putting the hooks on there as the droppers. Okay, so we've got the clips, the trot line clips, so that we can keep our line at the depth we want done. So the next up is we're going to make these droppers right here. And what we have is some circle hooks along with some number 4 nylon line and a swivel. And to make that, what you'll do is you'll cut a piece of the number 4 line about 2 foot right here, and then just a simple double over and just a overhand knot using both lines right there, and then just kind of push it up, and there it is. And then we'll take our lighter. Since this is twisted nylon, we just want to make sure we got the ends fused, and then that's it. And then finally we will take the barrel swivel, run it through one end, keep the knotted end by the barrel swivel, and we'll take the other end of the loop, pass it through, and there it is. All right. And then finally we'll take the hook. In this case, this is a circle hook, and we'll just pass it through. In this case, it has a big eye, so it makes it much easier to thread onto the dropper. And just like so, there's our dropper. And we'll have that done here shortly, and then we can go on to the next step. Okay, so next up we're going to do the anchors. So we'll use a barrel swivel as well as either a bank sinker or a duck decoy weight. I actually prefer the duck decoy weight because you can wrap it onto the jug line and it holds as storage, but we didn't have any more, so we got these as a backup as well. And you don't have to do the swivel, but I tend to like the swivel because it helps keeping the line from twisting. And so the way we do this is just a simple zip tie, run it through the bank sinker in this case, run it through the swivel, and then we'll pull this one tight. And we'll just do that the same way with the duck decoy as well, the duck decoy weight. So we'll just run it through and through the swivel and put it through the zip tie, and then we'll grab our little pliers here and snip off the excess. Alright, and then we'll do that with the rest of them. Contract grade premium braided mason line. And we've used decoy line, we use a braided one as well as a treated one. In this case, for now, since we just fish about 10 feet, 8 to 10 feet, we're going to go with about 20 feet, 24 feet of line. And all we're doing is doing this, which is about 5 feet maybe, times 4. So let's just check to see if that actually is 25 feet. Alright, ready? Okay, so 5 plus 2, so about 5 feet 4 inches, or 3 inches. That's pretty close. Alright, so we'll do this 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, it just has to be close enough, 4, and then we'll snip off the end, grab our handy dandy lighter. Let's go ahead and do this one too, since we're going to do this again here shortly.
Wait, so only doing 20 feet?
Yeah, that's all you need.
Trying to think. That's probably fine for I am. It's
Okay.
all man-made lakes too.
All we do then is just attach it to the line, or to the jug line, like so. And it's just a simple square knot or overhand knot that'll jam in there. And just pull it tight. What's nice is it'll come all the way down if you go all the way to the end, and it'll hook on to this hook just in case. But what happens is when you deploy it, you'll take your trot line clip, push it over, and wrap the line like so, and then it'll hold. All right. So let's go ahead and just undo that and get this set. And just wrap it on here. And once we have it on, we'll attach the decoy weight or bank sinker weight, like so. And this one I'm just going to use an improved clinch knot. You can use other knots as well, but we notice that it holds pretty well with an improved clinch knot. Pull it tight. Okay, and then we'll set the dropper about 2 feet off the bottom, so about yay high. Okay. We'll just measure it just in case. This is 2 feet. So roughly 2 feet off the bottom. Right here. Okay. And all we'll do is a simple overhand knot to make a loop. Like so. Like that. And then we'll take our hook, our dropper, run the swivel through the loop that we just made. And we'll take the hook, run it through the loop that we ran through the barrel swivel, and pull it tight. And there you go. So let's go and show you. This is how it looks in the water. Okay, so just to make it easier for deployment purposes, and we're going to guess that we're going to be fishing about 10 feet deep. So let's go ahead and just set it for 10 feet. So basically 2 lengths of line. And go ahead and attach it to the end. And add, if we need more while we're out there fishing, we'll definitely add more. Okay, so it doesn't come loose. And then we'll just pack it up. And we'll be ready to go fishing here. The only thing that's left to do is to add your tag. In this case, for Texas, you have to put your name and address, the one that's matching on your license, as well as you need to put the date. And that date that is on the tag itself is good for, I believe it's 10 days. So check on that, but I believe it's 10 days. It used to be 30, then it changed, and since then I believe it's 10. For Oklahoma, you have to check it every 24 hours. There's no date requirement, and you have to have your name and address as well, the one that matches on your license. Okay, and then when we're getting ready to set these, as we get to the dropper, we'll go ahead and wrap the dropper around the foam and just jam it into the foam itself so that it doesn't come loose. and then we'll put the rest of the dealie on there. So in this case, if we had the decoy weight, we would just hold it tight. In this case, we'll probably just use a rubber band or something to hold this in place while we transport it. All right, so all that's left is the tag. From a tag standpoint, we've done it several ways. We've used duct tape, a white or light gray duct tape, and a Sharpie, and just wrote it on there. It'll last several trips, if not the whole season sometimes. Other times, we'll take laminated business cards, or a card with our name and address on there, and put that as well, and either attach it with a zip tie or actually glue it in place and put a covering over it to hold it in there. It's up to you on how you want to do that. For Texas, what we'll do is we'll have the address on the tag, and then we'll put a separate date label on the other side or on the tag itself with the date. So all we're doing is replacing the date label or date portion of that tag and leaving the name and address intact. Okay, so there it is. Bunch of jug lines that we use for kayak fishing. In this case, we made 8 initially. We had some extra, so we went ahead and made 2 more. The only thing missing from it is the end cap. Right here, it's missing the end cap, which I think technically you can probably put a screw there and it'll keep it from popping off as well. So something to think about if you want to save 57 cents off the end cap. All right, well, hopefully you guys can give it a try and maybe let us know how these jug lines worked for you. Okay, so it's all done. All we got to do now is put some name information, tagging information, and then we'll go take it out for a spin, maybe hopefully this weekend. So happy non-Labor Day weekend. Until next time, we'll catch y'all there, and good luck and go fishing.